Today we've got Christian and Armando from Meadows. And Meadows, we interviewed you guys back, I think maybe when the last album came out. I don't remember exactly when
I think
that
it was
was. It was been a
2021.
few years though. But you
It was an
guys
odd,
got a new album
yeah,
coming
it
out.
was odd.
Super stoked about that. We'll chat more about that. But how you guys doing today?
Dude. Amazing. Honestly, glad to be back. Back in the saddle, back releasing new music. Um, it was really an odd cycle release of several releases for the last one. So it's good to kind of have everything in one go this time.
Mm, makes sense.
Yeah, it was kind of like in the middle of COVID pandemic stuff, right? Was the last one, so it was sort of ended up being like, oh, you release new music and then you can't really exactly tour on it, and it was just it's an awkward album release when that happens.
We did what we could.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
I feel like
makes
a lot of
sense.
people don't know this, but 2 years ago at Furnace Fest, because Meadows is a Birmingham band, 2 years ago, Christian, Cullen, and I stayed at your house and had a hell of a
Yep.
time just hanging out, chilling with you and your lovely wife, hanging out with Milo, right? Milo, your dog?
Yes.
The
Yes,
best.
dude.
That was one of my favorite dogs I've ever met.
Milo is the favorite dog that I've met. Fun fact, we are working on closing on a house. So we haven't had him for the last several months
Oh
with
man.
Because
with
you guys
my
are like
wife's
in
job.
downtown right now, right?
We are living at a college with the
Right.
students as
Yeah.
like the dorm parents. So we've been trying to figure out how to sneak him in or do something more official. But there's been a really gracious foster fam taking care of him, and we get him back
Hell yeah.
And
in just no time. I'm so excited.
well, you get Milo back, and isn't there a little one on the way?
There is.
Hot diggity dog.
Damn.
I
Dude,
love it.
That's way better
we're
than an
growing.
album.
We figured we'll just do it all in one go. Album, house, baby, dog.
Who says change is bad, right?
We'll go for all of it all at once. Just
All
do it
at
all at
once.
the same time, so you don't have to do it a bunch, and then you're good to go.
That makes sense.
That's right.
I'm all for that. Do you get the 5-year itch? Either of you guys? Do you guys know what the 5-year itch is?
What is that, like changing things up?
Yeah, like every 5 years or so, you just feel like you have to change something or do something like big in order to like just kind of spice things up in your life.
I like changing things up probably once a week.
Oh, wow.
Just
You
Even
get the
if it's
5-day
something little.
itch.
yeah, 5 days.
That could be something else too, Mason. Gotta be careful.
I think there's a cream for that.
Might want to get that checked out.
There's a cream for that. Man.
Also, isn't Milo named after a restaurant, right? Is that something?
He is. I mean, all the Fernies and Slausages should know and know it well by now. But Milo's hamburgers, it's kind of like
They're delicious.
it's like the Birmingham In-N-Out, but it's a little less put together
Yeah.
in some ways. But
For sure.
dude,
For sure.
it was like a special thing for us. So,
Yeah.
Well, I
Gotta
still remember
represent.
one day, I think it was after a night of Furnace Fest, and we got back at your house before you got back. It might have been the night that you had your show, but I remember Cullen and I let Milo out to go, outside for a second, and it was
Oh, no.
impossible to get him back in, and we basically had to
I was
like
about to say,
run
it's-
around the yard forever trying to chase him to get him back inside. It was he just wanted to play.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was like 2 a.m. one time. He was a little bit younger, and I let him out. And this is when I first figured out, like, hey, he's a bit of trouble. When you, like, inside, he's literally an angel.
Yeah.
Like, we did training with him. He gets all the commands. Like, he is the bomb inside. You get him outside, and he's like, this is my space, my domain. No one tells me what to do. And I was trying to get him back in, and it was like pouring rain. I was like, he's going to be a mess. Like, I got to get him in. And he's like, oh, this is a game? Like, we're hanging out here? And I'm like in my boxers and like slides, and I'm just absolutely fumbling around the backyard, muddy as all get. And like, dude, there's a picture of him when I got him back in. I was like, this is both the most angry I've ever been at you, and like you look adorable because he's just like all soaking wet,
It was
little
like-
pup, and I'm like,
That was great, wasn't it?
just
do that
make me
again.
wanna-
Love it. All right, well, let's
Love it.
talk about new music. Obviously, you guys just announced not that long ago a new album called Familiar with Pain, and there's a couple singles that have already been out, and I'm already like, oh yeah, this is some of the best Meadows I've ever heard. So I'm super stoked about it. But
Let's go.
hey, do you guys want to talk a little bit about kind of background of wanting to release a new album, and yeah, whatever sort of stories that there are there for the background of the album?
Yeah. Mondo, you want to take that one?
I was gonna ask you to take it, but yes. I'm trying to think back, and I'm always so bad with the timeline of this, but really over the past like 2 years or so, our guitarist Stone, his family has a lake house, about an hour from where we are. And I remember us taking a trip out there for our band trip, and we were having the conversation of what is this next record going to be? And we just can't stay away from a concept and a story, so we decided to torture ourselves and try to put another storyboard together and figure all this out. But we love it. So we were having those conversations then, right, Christian? Like,
Yeah.
just trying to figure out what it was going to be about.
Also,
Yeah.
for those who are maybe watching on YouTube, which, by the way, if you're not watching it on YouTube and listening to like on Apple Podcasts or whatever, totally check out our YouTube channel. You can actually watch our faces talk to all these bands. But Christian and Armando are both in the same room right now, but on separate laptops. I asked them to do it in separate laptops, but they're literally, I thought maybe like one would be in one room and then the other person would be in the other room, but nope, they're right next to each other. So it's kind of fun,
We
like
feed
watching
off
you
each
guys like
other's
basically
energy.
talk to each other right next to
I
each
got a
other,
riff,
but you're
dude.
on like separate screens for us.
And you look the opposite direction when you talk to each other. It's great.
Right?
It's all jazz. Really.
It's all jazz. Yeah. I love that.
It's all jazz. So, what made you guys decide that polka was the genre that you guys wanted to do on this new album?
No, I'll take that one for sure.
Yeah.
Jack Black, put out a movie, and it just no, and it was kind of like, let's just start with story, and then figure out theme, song wise, and then I really challenged the guys and said, hey, like, what does this sound like? What does that theme sound like to you? And so, like, for instance, when we get to like Barabbas, which we just put out, I mean, it's kind of like a crowd like wrapped in envy, like just
All gas,
chaos.
no
Like,
brakes,
yeah, all
just
gas, no brakes. Like,
full aggression.
so it was kind of one of those things where, like, hopefully it comes across that, really the sound of the song fits the theme of the song.
We really tried to set those parameters for ourselves. Like Christian was saying, what does the song sound like? And we've tried to challenge ourselves every time we write a song to push ourselves. So to not write in a way that is like comfortable for us, whether that's going to a different space or figuring that out musically, or like, hey, let's write a song from starting with the drums and build off that, or starting with the bass line and build off that. And we really took all the themes of each song that we wanted to pursue and then say, like, what does this sound like? What does it feel like? And build the music based around that. And I think it gave us a pretty full perspective when you listen to it front to back. So we're really excited for the entire thing to be out and, kind of just giving people a taste right now.
Mm-hmm.
And which of those experiments of uncomfortable writing was had the biggest payoff for you?
That's good. Yeah.
Probably like shoehorning ourselves into like a narrative that flows throughout, that is something to connect all of them. Because again, it's like, well, let's do this. I mean, if we go back to like just the way that I write, like I'll speak, personally on that question. I'm like, I want to write something in this specific song that like is the same forwards and backwards.
Yeah.
And so like just to like fit
Whoa.
the way that it kind of goes into it. And like, it's the same kind of stuff I did on the last one with
What's
like
the word? What's the word for that?
the palindrome.
Palindrome. Yeah.
Palindrome, yeah.
Yeah.
And so just like different ways that I'm like, how can I get the most out of like my creative process? To like, I love like approaching things in like kind of a poetic stance. So I don't know. Hopefully that's kind of the answer that I'm able to give that makes sense to you.
Yeah. No, I like that. Armando, how about for you?
For me, I mean, of course, I'm thinking of the music before the lyrics and kind of like allowing Christian his space to do that. I always try to think from like a root note perspective and a chord, like a chord structure perspective. And I'm just a big nerd when it comes to like, if I play this chord, but maybe move one note down a little bit, the whole feeling changes. And I love just trying to like capture a feeling from like, if you don't hear anything but the music, do you still feel the same thing that the lyrics are trying to portray? And like, how does that work together? And we've talked about it a lot. Like, if you were to see this one thing by itself or hear this one thing by itself, does it communicate the same thing? So trying to like build the parameters for ourselves and just like Christian was saying, pigeonhole ourselves to force us to think in a different way, produces a different result for each song. I mean, we feel like.
I like that. That's cool.
Christian, you're sort of known for telling a story, having a concept in each of your Meadows albums. Can you talk a little bit about like what's the story or what's the concept that you're wanting to get across in this album? That I don't know. I would imagine it's gonna be different than the previous albums.
Yeah. And a bit of this, it's a funny question because we were like talking before coming on here, like, how do we answer this question? I know this question's coming.
Yeah.
I love to like play in the in-between, I think, when it comes to like, let me tell you what I was writing about versus what you glean from it. And like, what does the ambiguity of it say to you from like a art standpoint? Like we all can look at the same piece of, creepy art from the thrift store and see something different within it. And so it's one of those where like, I've got an idea that I'm trying to deliver. But I'm like, I almost want to like just let people figure it out on their own. But then like, it's funny because like we're like reading like the Face Down Records like posts of like, here's what the record is. And I'm like, hey, just so everyone's aware, this is what they're saying and what I actually said. Because I apparently at one night just like was responding to something about a blurb and was like, oh yeah, it's this and that.
We kind of like consolidated the whole theme of the record into like, what is the like most summarized way to say this? And like, that is now out into the world, which is awesome. So we're out there with the theme and the idea.
Yeah, but to summarize it and go off the cuff to answer here would be, it's a chronological story, and you're looking at really elements and pieces of what we know as the Holy Week. So like Jesus riding in on Palm Sunday, up through the flogging of Christ being the song 39 times. So between there, I'll leave the ambiguity to dive into the story on your own. But that's at least where you start and where you end. I'll say that much. And
didn't Cool Hand Luke do something very similar? I don't know if you guys know Cool Hand Luke or not, but I think they did something similar where they did an entire album around Holy Week.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've not heard
I think it was
but
I think it was their last one, if I remember right.
We'll have to check
Yeah.
that out.
It's a great album.
Is that
I gotta
writing
look
on
it
the
up
walls
again.
right there? Not the song, but like, are you saying it's the last one?
I hope
I
not.
mean,
No, we're not gonna drop.
I mean,
that
you guys
bomb
have to
here.
resurrect at least, right?
that's right. Yeah. We need an
Perhaps.
Easter Sunday for Meadows at some point.
Oh yeah,
Perhaps.
we'll see. Yeah.
What
Of Man.
do you feel like there?
That was the name of the album.
Armando, you mentioned that like one of the things that you guys try to do, especially on this album, is challenge yourselves. Was there any sort of like maybe like new sounds or like new things just from like a songwriting perspective that you feel is like new for Meadows? Like obviously I would you listen to the two songs that at least have been out now. It's there's the classic hardcore stuff that you're going to expect from
Yeah.
Meadows. There's some of the spoken word stuff. So there's some stuff where it's like, all right, this is what I expect from Meadows. But throughout the album, and maybe you haven't heard it yet in the two singles that have come out, but is there any like new sort of sounds or new different ways that you've made music that just
Yeah.
haven't ever been on a Meadows album before?
We will 100% say yes. Out of the two songs that we have put out so far from this record, there's some very, very drastic, alternate sounds going on, and we're extremely excited to see, share that with people, because there's a lot of just sonically different things on both ends of the spectrum, but we feel like it really does the job of being cohesive still, and like we're saying, telling the story musically as well as lyrically. So we're very excited. We've explored very wide soundscape. So
Yeah, polka. I mean, geez,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
there's a polka track. So we'll go ahead and leak that soon.
It's hidden,
Yeah.
guys. Right? That's what you were telling me before we got
Yeah,
on.
you have to
There's
wait
a hidden
One
track. on
hour
the album.
after the last song,
Yeah.
it starts.
Yep.
Is
My
the polka
grandparents might rise back from the grave if they hear that one.
Lawrence Welk will be happy.
Yes.
That's a reference that maybe 3 people are going to understand.
Well, I'm one of them
here
since he's a
for.
relative. So
Your 5th grade.
That is true. I forgot about that. Your 5th grade grandmother.
that's my grandma's cousin was Lawrence Welk.
I love it. Oh man,
I love some polka.
I can't tell you how excited I am for this record to come out finally.
You can.
Us too.
And I mean, it's going to be great. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Like your guys' last record set the bar so high for me that I have high expectations, and I feel like they're going to be met after listening to the singles so far. I'm curious what your album art is representing. Is it is it connected to the concept, to the theme?
Yeah, I'll speak to that. I did the record cover as well as all the merch design and the whole packaging.
By the way, your merch design is very, very cool.
Thank
Magic
you.
City hardcore.
yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I think that was Christian's idea from a few tours back. It just kind of started happening. Birmingham is the Magic City, if you didn't know, historically. So
Why is it called the Magic City?
little history lesson.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
history. So let's
So
hear it.
Birmingham started when the city really started coming together. It was we making a lot of different iron and stuff like that. So Sloss Furnace here in Birmingham was like the big, manufacturing plant of all of that steel and everything. So when that started, it's called the Magic City because it sprang up overnight, essentially, with all these factories, all these furnaces and manufacturing plants of steel and different things like that, and just sprung up out of nowhere. So it's been known as the
cool.
Magic City ever since
It's
then.
magic.
And it's magic. Yeah. Beautiful.
It feels like a little bit of a stretch for a nickname of a city. It's sort of like Chicago's known as the Windy City or Windy City, and it actually has like nothing to do with like wind.
We have the most magicians per capita.
Right.
I was
I
gonna
was gonna
say,
say like that feels like that would be a better story to how that was.
One out of
David
got
Blaine
to
and
me.
Penn and Teller are from Alabama.
One out of 2.
Yeah.
Not gonna say which one.
Yeah, I also thought it was Orlando that was the Magic City, but apparently not.
Is the album artwork, is that the crown of thorns? Am I right in interpreting it that way?
It is. So we went through so many iterations of completely different directions for the artwork and the covers, and countless hours of drawing things and going completely different routes. But we wanted to take this approach of like doing this kind of really zoomed in perspective of the crown of thorns, and it's really more of like the abstract idea of it. There's a lot of messiness to it, a lot of squiggles going on, which I was a big fan of. And for me, I've been I've been drawing my whole life, and I've done painting and graphic design and this and that, but doing what we ended up with here really felt for me like my most true form of art, like just drawing pencil and paper sort of thing, and getting like the feeling of the messiness, which is like for me it felt like the visual that encapsulated the story overall. The other thing for me was like the color palette going on with it, so it's like this kind of deep blue color in the background with these bright pops of red and this dulled shades of brown going throughout. So it kind of felt like the feeling that we wanted to convey with it, or if no one else, me, the feeling that I felt like it sounded like, going through it and spending time with it, and just kind of like the heaviness or the weightiness of the colors and the messiness of the line work. So that's kind of my perspective of how I wanted to approach it.
One of the things I like about Meadows and your previous album covers is, especially with this one, and even with Likewise, it almost feels like an indie album. Like it feels like something you'd see from like Modest Mouse. And
That's awesome.
and obviously like knowing that obviously there are some elements to that in Meadows. There's some of those indie sounding guitar riffs and everything. But for the most part, I still think of you guys as like a hardcore band, right? And so it's really funny to think of like you guys could be playing on a stage with, I don't know, some other hardcore band, like let's name it, like, I don't know, like Knock Loose,
Call your
for
shot.
example. And like Knock Loose, for example, I just could never see Knock Loose having this kind of indie looking, vibe. And so it's just interesting to me, like that's like the sound that I think of you guys, or at least like genre wise where I would put you, and yet you have this like very indie aesthetic. I think that's really interesting.
That's probably just due to me doing all of the art since we've started, and like my personal progression of making things like that. But like I always feel like out of the group of us, like I feel like I'm kind of always pushing the more indie side of things, whereas like Christian and Stone and Evan, like, and the rest of the guys, like pushing the heavier side of things. And I love the heavy side too, when we're writing. But then visually, I guess it's kind of like, how do I take my visual perspective and make it fit in this mold? Because it's funny, since we've been playing, we've played all sorts of weird shows, and we've had shows where we've been the only screaming band on a show, so by far the heaviest. And then we've had shows where we're like, you guys are weak.
Yeah.
Like, so we played with
It's the sweet
Natalie
spot,
Grant
then.
one time and Reliant K, like,
Yep.
so
Really?
which
That's
was
awesome.
a fest. I mean, so it's whatever, but yeah, so it's been awesome.
It is kind of funny because you do kind of have a little bit of an indie like vibe aesthetically yourself. I mean, you're wearing a denim chore coat. It doesn't get much more indie than that, really.
It's my Knocked Loose chore coat. I'm just kidding.
Okay. It's got to be black then, I think,
Yeah.
right?
Dark blue.
Dark blue, super dark.
So that's a little bit about the album itself. I know you guys have talked a little bit about some of the tour stuff that's coming out. So yeah, like obviously the album is going to be coming out soon, but is there ways people can actually see you guys play these new songs?
Yeah. So, it's funny because like the last, few months we've kind of been playing Barabbas, like just because we couldn't wait to play it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we even had the discussion several times of like, should we hold all these, or like, nah, it's like, let's just
Let it rip.
they're too fun, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got an album release tour starting in
On
just
the 6th.
just a few weeks away.
Mhm.
March 6th, we'll be starting.
Wait, when's the baby due?
June 3rd
Yeah.
is what the actual date is, but apparently he's like measuring like 99 plus percentile, so probably coming a little
Uh-oh.
bit earlier.
Oh,
wow.
So you might be cutting it close, is what you're saying.
I think for March we're good. I think we're good for March.
Because like it's
So-
what, like
so-
10 dates or something like that?
I think it's 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we'll
Okay, so you're doing 9 dates, and then can we expect something after baby comes, or?
I mean, we're still planning stuff and, seeing what opportunities we have. The whole email back and forth or Instagram message, whatever, for different fests that we have coming up for the summer. So trying to get all those sort of details locked in and figured out on our end.
Sure.
For sure.
Gotcha.
I mean, I will say I definitely saw the intentional avoidance of both Sioux Falls and Minneapolis.
Yeah. What the heck, man?
It's very
Come
intentional.
on.
So I was
We would love to see you live.
I was
again.
like, wow, I see that Christian loves us just as much as we love him.
I do. Actually, I don't, because I love you more. So
Christian, what was
Oh,
the venue
wow.
we played in Minneapolis last time? Was that upstairs? Like
we played
it's like 3 flights of stairs.
Minneapolis. I
Oh,
think we
that's
played-
fun for load-in.
We played North Star Room, wasn't it?
North Star Room was really.
North Star
I'm
Room.
thinking about that other one that was like literally up 100
That
stairs.
was Wisconsin.
Was it? Okay. Yeah.
That was awful. I mean,
Yeah.
it was great.
It was
The venue
great.
was cool, but like
Yeah.
the stairs were not cool. All your venues need ramps. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. Mason and I helped the Chariot load in to a super tall building in
Fargo.
Fargo,
Mm.
up flights of stairs, and it was awful. They let us carry way too much stuff up there. They trusted us way too
It's
much. I'll
basically
tell you that much.
I was
Uh-oh.
oh, we lost Christian, but good thing he's right next to you. Oh, Armando, yours is muted. So.
Your mic doesn't work there, Armando.
Hey y'all, I think Christian
Hi.
dropped, but I'm not gonna let him on screen though.
Oh, we're gonna have to mute.
Technical difficulties. It's so weird. I can hear myself through it. Oh, this sounds so strange.
It's crazy.
Are we better now?
One of
Go
you
ahead
want
and
to
talk.
mute?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Okay, good. There we go.
Back in the saddle.
Back in the
saddle,
saddle. We're good
baby.
to go. You look
Wait,
great.
now we're on the right side again. So
Yeah, now
Nice.
you guys should pretend. You guys should put your fingers
where
together,
is this actually happening?
like Mason and I can do it at the same time.
You know, it's sad that like it works better for y'all, and we're actually literally sitting right here.
One other thing I was kind of curious on. Armando, do you play a Bugera amp?
Oh, so
Live?
this is my Bugera.
Is that your
amp.
pri-
It's the head and amp combo. This was the first head that I ever bought for the band,
Yeah.
for myself, for the band. I got it for like $100. I played it for years live, and I love the sound of it. I do have another amp now that I use for shows, but this is my at-home practice amp. It's falling
Gotcha.
apart. It really. I literally have duct tape all on the back of it because it's bad. I don't even want to. But yeah, it's
I have a Bugera amp as well,
Really?
and I love it.
Yeah.
I think they're incredibly underrated
very
in terms of
much so.
tone,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not expensive either, which is nice.
Yeah, but I mean, no, it's
Yeah.
not like it never like turned any heads or anything. No, we never got done with the set and be like, oh, that's really sick. What is that? Everyone's just like, cool, whatever.
That's not
But
true.
I love it.
Everyone's always talking about the Meadows guitar tone and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, dude, you guys, man, your guitars, and like the amount of times I'm like trying to walk off stage, and everyone's just like, goo eyeing over their pedal boards and stuff.
But it's always pedal boards. It's never amps. Like no one wants to talk about amps. Like it's always like,
That's true.
yeah, what's the pedal? you
or
got?
or they're always like amazed at how much sound we get out of little combo amps. And
Yeah, so me and Stone both play
Nice.
combo amps now, like 212s,
Yeah.
and that's always the comment that we get. How do you make that much sound come out of it? But it's just easier to not as much to lug around.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going.
So how
up
do
three
you
flights
how
of
do you
stairs.
guys do it?
It's just magic. It's Magic City Hardcore.
there it is.
Yeah.
That's right. I love it. It just pops up out of nowhere. The tone.
Yeah,
It's just
we
perfect.
crank it up probably about 90%, So it's
Dang,
it's pushing. So
I love it. That's how it should be, you know.
mhm.
These amps go to 11.
As the kids say.
You know, I wonder if anyone actually knows the reference for that anymore. Like
We're at
a modern
kids.
listening
I
audience.
doubt
Do
it.
you think? Mason, do you know what it's from? No, don't look it up, you cheater.
What are you doing?
Don't look it up.
Well,
Yeah, I know what
I
this
mean,
is
I know
from.
it now, but well, I didn't
He's like,
realize that was
wait,
a
they
thing.
don't? I can't believe they don't. As he's looking it up.
I mean, do you
Well,
want to
let's
tell
see.
the people, the listeners out there in the
Armando,
world?
what's it from? Do you know?
I don't want to say, honestly.
Of course you don't.
Christian?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I know what it's from. I know it's from Spinal Tap, but I've not.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I've not actually seen it all the way through.
Well, you know, honestly, it's not like the greatest mockumentary ever, but that part is pretty fun.
Classic.
You got to watch that part.
Classic.
Yeah. It's a fictional band that falls apart because they're a rock band, you know, all the drama that comes with it. Speaking of which, is there any drama between the members of Meadow?
Every day.
Just Meadow.
Just Meadow. Yeah.
Mr. Meadow himself over here.
No drama?
No, I mean, it's funny. Our wives think there is drama.
Oh,
we've been playing for like 11 years now, and we've gosh, our text messages are just so direct because we're always like, we got to figure whatever it is we're talking about. We're like, we just need to figure this out right now. So we're always like, do this now. And we know it's cool, it's whatever, but our wives are like, are y'all okay?
It's so funny. Or like if we bring someone on the road with us, like they will pull one of us aside like on night 4 and
it's every time.
Hey man, like do I
Let's
need to
make
be
sure y'all are good.
do I need to be worried? You know? And they're like, no, we're fine. What are you talking about?
We don't have any crazy drama because we've gotten to the point where we know each other's like, this is gonna push you, you know.
sure.
But
Well, I think directness probably helps
it
that
does.
too, right?
It really does.
Because if you're passive aggressive or if you're just like, you know, seething on the inside, like that's how everything goes.
Yeah,
goes
We'll
wrong.
try to be passive aggressive, and then one of us is just like, "Hey, this isn't happening."
that shit
Shut up.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, Armando, because last time we talked to Christian at Furnace Fest, he's like, you know, I am the face of Meadows and I am the most important individual in this band.
Yeah, that's fact.
And I really need to like go out on my own and do my own thing sometime. So I just thought, you know, maybe there was some you know, strife going on within the band.
Well, he has a Spotify account, but 0 monthly listeners. So I mean,
Naturally.
luck to
That's what you get for
Christian.
playing polka music.
it's his polka side project, is what it's called.
It's called Polka Side
Yeah.
Project.
Yeah.
It's called Weird Christian Yankovic.
That's fine.
I think it has a ring to it.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. That's why there's 0 Spotify listeners.
One.
Anti-marketing. Anti-marketing is the whole idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Well, I'm glad you squashed all the potential drama, especially with
All the beef.
Christian thinking that his face in particular was the face of Meadows, which
That's
Yeah.
you know,
unfortunate.
maybe explains why there's
That's-
2,000 monthly listeners.
Oh man.
So, you know, Armando, speaking of that, have you ever dressed up as the bounty man from, you know, like the paper
The
towels,
paper towel.
Halloween?
No, okay, so I have a thing that I try to accomplish every Halloween where I shave my beard into some type of costume. So I've been
Wait, what? Hold up. So like your face, your beard is a design, or do you like take your beard and make it into a costume?
so I've been Freddie Mercury twice, which has been great. I did the Wolverine beard once.
So when you did Freddie Mercury, did you mustache and
Yeah.
then you just like just
Yeah.
this the entire time?
Exactly. Just to get the little teeth.
What is happening? I was like, is my computer busted up again?
Okay. All right,
Bounty
Mason.
man.
Also look up Al Borland.
Al Borland?
This will have to be this house.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, from Home Improvement.
Oh,
Just look up
God.
Al Home
Dude,
Improvement.
yes, that is great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're obviously like much more like lean than Al is, but
I think I have time until Halloween to
Bulk up.
Yeah, to bulk up. Yeah.
I'm bulking.
Yeah.
Christian, do you have a doppelganger out there? A
You
famous
you
one
do.
or a non-famous one?
You know you do already. You know the answer.
Yeah, what paper towel brand do you look like, Christian?
He's the Charmin bear.
that's probably the best way to put it.
What's his name? Impractical Joker.
Oh,
Oh,
Sal.
dude.
Yeah.
You're Sal
Bro,
Volcano or whatever his name is.
Sal
Volcano.
Volcano.
Oh man, dude, that's totally it.
We like
You're better looking than Sal.
we
though.
went mini virus, as Armando
Yeah.
would say,
Went virus.
and all the comments were just people saying how it looked like Sal.
Yeah.
Okay, Sal, for your next punishment, you have to front this hardcore band.
He was great.
Oh, that's good.
I don't even see it.
That's
yet,
good.
But, you know.
So we're trying
don't-
to get him to come to a show if we can.
Yeah, dude, that'd be amazing.
So when we did our West Coast tour with the Undertaking a while back, we were trying our darndest to get Nathan Fielder out to a show. I was like, I don't even care what prank you pull if you do something that's awful to us. I just want to meet this guy in person. And
Yeah, dude,
yeah,
he is one of the most interesting individuals.
We should see if
I
Tim
love it.
Robinson will go to the Detroit show.
Oh,
I think that's our goal. Like, what
That's
celebrity
the
can we
move.
get from any
Yeah.
area we're playing?
Which
If I was gonna go to Detroit, I would want Iggy Pop at the show, and I want him to take his shirt off and go wild.
and then you can take your shirt off too, Christian, and
I'll leave that one.
touch
for
each other's
Armando.
belly buttons.
That would be great. That'd be great. You know, Mason has a doppelganger too.
Bring it
Oh,
up.
where are you going with this?
Do you guys know what it
Throw
is?
it up.
I'm trying
Hold
to
on.
think now.
It's not a very famous one.
I was thinking Orlando Bloom, but
Wow,
I'll take that.
that's
I'll take that.
generous.
I'll be
That's
like
very
Les.
generous.
that's
No.
very generous.
Mason, would you just kind of pull your hair out of your butt, or just like turn to the side, just for a second? He's
Okay,
Minnesota lesbian.
What?
Minnesota lesbian. That's
I'm
Mason's
not wearing my
doppelganger.
flannel though right now.
That's true.
I drive a Subaru, so
Yeah, that's the only thing though. He doesn't drive a Subaru.
Yeah, I need to drive a
You know,
Subaru,
We got to get you a
Yeah.
Subaru.
and then get a U-Haul truck after our first date.
That's
I
great.
love it.
Love it. Are we ready for top 5?
Let's go.
All right.
All right.
Armando, should we have Armando go first since it's top 5 influential for him?
I was about to say I forgot what the top 5 even was for me.
Okay, so top 5 influential. We'll make Christian go first,
Oh, gee.
so you can think about your top 5. All right, so Christian, we are talking for you, or for you, it's going to be your top 5 guilty pleasure artists.
Guilty pleasure artist. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to start with where it all began.
Black Eyed
And it's-
Peas.
No,
Close.
The
not
Who.
even close.
Very close.
My first CD that I ever got, and like, I mean, I wore it out, was Ricky Martin.
Really?
I was like 11.
Wow.
Living la vida loca.
It was Living La Vida
Gosh.
Loca. It was also the Baha Men.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
No way.
and Smash Mouth.
There you go.
Absolutely
Hmm.
Smash Mouth. I had
Any of
I had
those,
2 of those CDs.
any of those needs to. You guys have to do a cover of any of those artists
The Meadows All
as
Star.
Meadows.
That would be.
Oh my God! Could you imagine a hardcore
That's
version
so-
of All Star?
That's so brilliant.
But it's like the version where it's like delayed on the intro. It's like somebody.
Somebody wants.
Dude, those videos.
And everyone like falls flat on their face in the
I
crowd.
think we need to open the set with that
Would be
now at
epic.
some point.
be
I'm
a-
down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally down.
That-
You guys could like spike your hair and wear like bowling shirts.
You guys will be
One of us-
opening for Turnstile if you guys do that.
Yeah,
It's just
For
Guy
real?
Fieri.
that look is coming back for sure.
It is, unfortunately or fortunately,
Very
depending on your personal
fortunate.
taste.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll call that 3.
That's cheating, but okay. It works. It works.
I'm trying to think like through my Spotify even. I just like I'm so like honestly, you know what? Number 4 we'll put Meadows. I listen to Meadows
Oh, wow.
nonstop.
It's true.
You listen to your own
I
band.
really
I love
do.
it.
I'm
I
like
love it.
I listen and like I notice like my face does this thing where like it's trying to like do the part, like, but I'm just trying to like listen. But I'm also like listening like very critically,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
all the time, and I'm like, how's that sounding? How's that coming
So-
across? And like,
Show us your face when you're listening to Meadows in the car, we'll say. Like, are you like,
it's kind of like that, but like your lips like do this like
Yeah.
pursing thing, like it's like something's trying to get out, and it's like I'll catch myself doing it, and I'm like, I probably look ridiculous right now.
So you don't listen to your own band for like enjoyment. You're listening more as like a critical ear.
Yes, but then I'm also like, you know what? I'm our biggest fan. Like
Yeah.
if someone's got to be, why not me? You know?
that makes sense to me.
So here's
like
a
that.
super personal question then. Have
Okay.
you ever listened to Meadows while having sex?
Oh,
No, 100% no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I
That's-
can't imagine you like, all right, babe, let's get frisky, and then like turning on your own
No one
band.
can imagine that.
Well, I don't think you're our biggest fan, then, Christian.
I don't know
Well,
who's out there doing that, but
I mean, I can personally
I
attest.
speak Cullen. Go ahead.
Colin listens to the BlackSheep Podcast while he's having sex too. So
Oh, that's my voice. You like that?
No, it's funny because like if you look at my Spotify Wrapped, it's probably a lot of Meadows because I'm like either like working out, trying to get ready for a tour, and I'm like got the set list going, so I'm like
Yeah.
make sure I'm not getting winded.
So you're probably not going to ever share your Spotify Wrapped because of that, right?
It's that, and then it's a lot of like me like practicing for worship. So it's like
Yeah.
like if I'm having to
Okay,
lead
yeah,
worship, it's
sure.
probably those same songs, and it's like
A million times.
the ones that I don't even like. I just have to learn them.
Okay, so that brings me to the next point. Your 5th artist. How about a CCM artist that like you really should not like, and everyone would make fun of you if you told them that you really liked this
Okay,
CCM
you know, I don't
artist?
know how.
Who would it be?
I don't know how much this would land as far as like you really shouldn't like them, but like I have a very soft spot for Need to Breathe in my heart.
oh,
Okay, yeah, that's definitely 100% a guilty pleasure.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah.
like
I don't blame
that's
you.
like
then.
You guys.
that's like the Christian wife who's like teetering on divorce.
That's
kind of
definitely
music.
live, laugh, love music.
Dude,
That's great.
but like the old Need to Breathe.
The
That
outside.
doesn't,
Dig
that
to the
doesn't help
water.
Yeah,
anything.
dude.
That, like,
Okay, that song right there. Man. Woo! All right.
But when they were actually still like alternative on that first album,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That
like
first
Shine
album's
On,
pretty good.
so good.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I like the second one, man. The Outsiders. That's
The one with the horse on it.
yes, dude.
No, that's
the-
that's actually their third album.
Oh my gosh.
That is true. That's her third.
Whatever it is.
Mason
that's the one.
Mason knows very.
I know Need to
very
Breathe.
well.
It's your guilty.
Is that because
pleasure.
Sheila?
Yes, my
does
mom
Sheila-
is like total Need to Breathe kind of fan, like, and she probably totally is like whatever their market demographic is. She's 100% the market demographic.
She's not teetering on divorce though, so
That's
she's
true.
not like the
That's true.
super.
But she's
fan.
definitely live, laugh, love, and like and has like would ideally like to live in a house with a lot of shiplap.
Dude. Okay. All right. That's I've been got. So
Yeah.
there it is.
That's good, man. I love
what
it.
we're waiting
I love it.
I got.
Thank you for saying that. That really that makes me happy. You guys should have your bumper music be Need to Breathe.
I'm about it.
It's funny
It's
because I feel like we notice a lot of times it's like bumper music, like, oh, Meadows is setting up and like they're getting ready to we're getting ready to play. And so like I feel like they never know what to play. It's either
Oh,
like
yeah.
way one way or the other, kind of back to that whole conversation we had earlier
So
about.
we've actually made our
Yeah.
own bumper music for those who can't decide what to play. So as soon as we finish our set, we like to have something come on that's just like, we've had all sorts of different things. We're on like a big kind of EDM sort of vibe for a second. Just
It's a good
it's
move.
something totally out of pocket to like, all right, we're done. We're for sure done now that this is played.
You know, that does need to be a thing. Like, there's too many venues that play the same exact kind of music
Mhm.
for what you just listened to, and it's really frustrating because it's like, all right, I need something to just kind of cleanse the palate
Yeah.
for a moment and just take a breath.
That or they'll play us.
Yeah.
Like,
After you get done
or
playing,
before, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they're about to
What?
hear that again. So
who does that?
it's
happened a few times.
it's more than once.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine somebody doing that. That sounds so dumb.
I don't know. It's like, I guess, letting you practice. Like,
Get everyone prepared for what they're about to hear.
Yeah, or
Theme
just
song.
like giving. That's good. All right, Armando, top 5 most influential albums.
Okay, albums. Oh gosh, dude, I was thinking of artists at first. Okay, but I got you. Albums.
Okay.
For me personally, in terms of how I think about writing music or putting things together or just stuff that I love. Define the Great Line is one of my
course.
first, and I think that's just sort of a gimme, but it still is. It was super impactful for me during my time when I first started playing guitar, and one of my first records that I started listening to was Cries of the Past, and kind of getting into that. So it is what it is. There's that. I love Under Oath. Second for me is probably To Pimp a Butterfly from Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
It's
for
Nice.
one of my favorite records. I have it on vinyl behind me here. And for me, it's also tying into the fact of like, I just love good storytelling. And that's one of those front to back. If you like, it's great music, but when you start digging into it, there's more to unfold. And I love that sort of world building, sort of just giving you something more to listen to. Same exact reason for my other ones, because the internet, Childish Gambino, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
world building concept sort of deal, and The Party by Andy Shaw. He's one of my favorite artists. He's a very indie artist, kind of acoustic guitar. Every record is a concept story building sort of thing. So
Andy Shaw. Hold up, Andy Shaw. Where's he from? Do you know?
Canada,
From Canada.
Toronto. I think
That's wild. I have a friend named Andy Shaw who has a whole bunch of records, and
Really?
he also plays kind of acoustic-y kind
Yeah.
of stuff. And I was like, is it the same Andy Shaw?
So Andy
I was
Shaw,
like,
but he's
Shaw.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Canada indie artist. Every record has been like a story sort of deal. So I could name all of those records, but I'll just do that one for now. What is that? Is it 4? Is that 3? 3, 4? Okay, I'll do one more.
4, I think. Yeah, one more.
Yeah.
Absent Sounds from Indian Lakes.
Oh,
Mason's literally wearing the shirt
Oh,
right
really?
now.
well, I'm
that
wearing
is
Able
awesome.
Bodies, but yeah, I'm literally
Oh, that's
wearing
Able
a From
Bodies. Never
Indian
mind.
Lake shirt.
Yeah.
You're,
Which
yeah,
is
it's
another
backwards,
great
yeah.
record, but Absent Sounds is my favorite record from that band, front to back. I love every single song on that record, and that has influenced a lot of the way that I like to write personally, just in terms of like ambience and like music structure sort of deals, and like the way that the drums complement a guitar sound. And
So good.
the singer writes and records everything himself, so just like the cohesiveness of like all of that coming together. So
Yeah. That first record from them, was that a self-titled?
Think so, or no, it was like The Man with Wooden Legs or something like that.
yeah,
The Man with Wooden
Yeah.
Legs. That's it. That was actually my best cold call buy I ever had.
really.
I was at a record store. I was like, this is a really interesting band name. This is a really
Mhm.
interesting album cover. I'm going to buy it. I bought it. I put it in. I was like, oh, this is so good. This is exactly what I want to hear.
They're-
What I always like about them is that they kind of have like this like cool ADHD kind of vibe at
Mhm.
times, like just like really beautiful like layering.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, like just angular,
Ripping in.
disgusting riffs that come out of nowhere.
Mhm.
And it's like, whoa, this is neat. So yeah, no, I like that. I can definitely hear that in Meadows as well. That's cool.
That's a good call. I love From Indian Lakes, and I feel like, especially in the indie scene, a lot of people don't give them the credit that I think they deserve.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They're great.
They're one of my favorite bands altogether. But like all of the records that I name personally, I love to take influence from different areas and thinking just the way that stuff is put together musically and try to. I love trying to take a sound that doesn't belong in hardcore or an idea like that, and like how do we make it fit into this puzzle piece? And like when Christian and I are trying to put these stories together and figure things out, how do we make it work? It's like a big puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you guys did it with polka, so I
Yes.
can't even explain
Which we can't
just
wait
how
for everyone
great
to
you
hear
guys are.
our polka song.
Remember the hour
Yeah.
mark after you finish the album
Yeah.
on your second playthrough.
I just want someone to wait for an hour after the record's over in silence.
It's just rolling around on the vinyl,
Yeah.
just tearing up that needle.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Love it. What do you guys want to plug? Obviously, album's coming out soon, and then the tour is going to happen. But yeah, what do you guys want to plug?
I mean, that's kind of like
There's a lot coming up, to be honest.
it's really like all systems go for
Mhm.
this album. I think it's
Yeah.
kind of our eggs in the basket type deal.
Mhm.
So, we're super pumped to be doing it through Facedown Records again. In a lot of ways, it is our sophomore record with them, but kind of like we mentioned, coming live with you guys was like, yeah, it was a really like odd release cycle, and this is really
It's like our first formal
Yeah.
full-length release. Like all new songs coming out. We've really played just one or two here and there, pre-release. So
Yeah. So it's really just, we want to plug this record as much as possible. We'd love
Yeah.
to plug Armando's art as much as possible. He's got a Instagram and all that stuff. You could plug that.
yeah, I've done some art online, and I do have an Instagram. It's really more so for like just putting stuff out there as like, hey, you want to know what I do? Here's some of that. I don't post a lot of my work for some reason. I don't know why, but hopefully getting into more of that, because I mean the past year we've been so focused on all of this stuff. But I would love to plug God's Eyes. We're going on tour with them. This is
For
our
sure.
second run with them, and they're incredible. They just released a record a few months ago, which was the tour that we did with them, and it's awesome. So everyone go check them out. But we have a lot more singles coming out, some videos, and to keep an eye out for. So
Nice.
all the follows, all the socials, everything like that.
If I may ask one more thing, and you can just blink twice if this is true. You guys are playing Furnace Fest.
I'm trying not to believe.
Do you know something? I will say we will gladly be involved in any capacity that we are able to. Furnace Fest has meant a lot to us and meant a lot to Birmingham.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
everyone that's a part of it is really near and dear to us.
Mhm.
So, we'll be there. We'll be
Yes,
here.
for sure.
It's on my birthday this year. So,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
that's
even better reason to get Chad on the line here, huh?
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Gotta make it happen.
or Johnny or anyone else, right? Yeah, absolutely. Well, we would love to see you guys there again because I think Mason can definitely attest that it was a wonderful experience seeing you guys. Not this last year, but the year before. I was at the showdown, but Mason's one of those hardcore guys. He's going to be there for you. So this year, if you guys play, I'll be there no matter
Let's
what.
go.
Well, now we
Love
have
it.
to.
Sick.
Anything else you'd like to plug? Wink, 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 wink.
I'll really pass this one off to Armando, but I mean, I've kind of personally on the side been building some proprietary like computer work for NASA. We got
Yeah, you were telling us about that last time. I
we
think,
got
right?
a base up here in Huntsville. So driving up there nonstop, it's been a blast.
Ha! That's good. That's pretty good.
So, are there aliens that we know of?
Yeah, it's already been discussed.
Yes. Yeah.
Finally.
Okay, great. Just
been
wanted
proven.
to
Be a
double check.
denier if you'd like, but I was really glad to be on the ground floor with that. So was holding a lot of that in.
Yeah, I can imagine. Is there any new development with this new with this computer work, with this software engineering or whatever you're doing?
So I'd like to, keep my head on my shoulders and say that I can't really say much, but
Are you trying to say that someone's going to kill you if you talk?
I'm not going to say anything.
Damn.
I want your head to stay on your shoulders as well. Actually, I wish it stays on your neck. It's not really on your shoulders. That'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Head and
Walk around like
shoulders. No neck.
Speaking of head and shoulders, that's actually our first sponsor. So thank you for
Nice.
bringing that up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Head and Shoulders. Get it at your local CVS, Target, or Walgreens.
Love it. Armando, anything else that you'd like to plug?
I mean, I've not been up to anything crazy. Christian's been working on his stuff. He has been helping me develop a kind of another side hustle that's like remote custodial work. So we can, in a time where so many
Whoa.
people are working from home, we've decided to like work on some technology to be able to clean stuff from our computers, so we're going into facilities and getting them taken care of. So
Wait, is this like drones or?
it's in the works. We've been testing all sorts of stuff. So like drone cleaning for buildings, some AI mops, like with the new Apple Vision Pro stuff that you have
Wow.
to put the goggles on and just virtually mop and you're good to go.
This is giving me like vacuum from the Brave Little Toaster vibes right now.
We have we're
Yes.
partnering with the new season of Black Mirror too for this content.
Oh, dang!
Wow.
Like sentient mops that you fall in love with, kind of like Her, like the movie Her.
More along the lines of that horror movie that's like the tire that's killing people.
Rubber.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Rubber,
One. Yeah, that's
dude.
good.
So,
Yeah,
There's
That's
a
a
horror
real
movie
movie.
called Rubber.
yeah, and it's about a tire it's a murderous tire.
Have you not seen that?
I have never even heard of this in my life.
Mason, it's right up your alley, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it-
As soon as this is over,
Yeah.
you need to watch.
Go
Rubber.
watch it. Yes.
Damn. That's a tire. When I hear horror movies called Rubber, I don't think about tires. So I'm
Different
glad to know.
Now
it's
you
actually
will.
about tires.
So they really are
What
taking back the market.
what do you think of
Most of the
Mason?
horror stories I know of when it comes to rubber are a different kind of rubber.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that your personal horror
No,
stories?
just other
Is that what you're
people's
trying to
horror
say?
stories.
Oh,
Okay.
So
are you sure?
yeah, I'm not speaking from experience.
I can feel Armando getting more uneasy.
It's okay, Christian.
Uh,
It's all
dude, I'm having a baby.
good.
Love it. Well, guys, thank you
Oh.
so much for chatting about the new album. We're really, really stoked. I'm sure it will be mentioned at our top 5 albums of the year. I'm guaranteeing it already. I know we haven't listened to the
With
whole
2
album.
songs.
Yeah.
All right, you heard it here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
for real.
I'm
Well,
already
good.
expecting it. I'm already
Yeah, we
expecting
won't
it,
shut it
especially
down
once we
yet.
hear that Polka song. So
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you so much for chatting about it, and hopefully we get to see you guys soon.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll catch y'all at Furnace Fest.
Yeah, love
We'll
y'all.
be there.